first of all, the Holy City. Echoes for many of you, I'm sure, of Royal Albert Hall and the Last Night of Proms, all these kind of things. And it has a special place in Ulysses, in the nightclub episode, where Bloom imagines that he's become elected as the first citizen of Dublin and makes a speech about what he's going to do for the citizens in the new Blue Muslim of the future, the Nova Hibernian, and so on. And Mr. Hoy opened the Charles Hoy, late Charles Hoy, who was, at least in part, a son of Mayo, opened the Irish Financial Services Centre. And probably under the influence of my good friend and his, Anthony Cronin, who was his cultural advisor, during the opening of this, on the turning of the salt, he quoted Bloom's speech about the new Blue Muslim in the Nova Hibernian of the future. Frank MacDonald in the Irish Times took great exception to this and criticised Mr. Hoy. I've been trying to get money out of Mr. Hoy for one of the worthy social projects I was involved in with no answer at all. So I thought here was a moment for mischief. So I wrote it and said, I noted Mr. Frank MacDonald's comments, but I have to say, as a lifelong Joycean, I was exhilarated that a Taoiseach of this country should quote from once banned author. On the other hand, however, astute politician though he be, Mr. Hoy plainly did not fully appreciate the significance of context in the evaluation of literary material, or he might not have chosen this particular piece. Because when Bloom makes the speech, the location is a brothel, the audience is a collection of whores and drunkards, they're all pissed as newts, and none of it ever comes true. And then I put a PS, perhaps it was more appropriate than I thought. A week later, I was up in Dublin City University for the first conferring, and I came in early, and there was only one other person. I was put sitting next to her, and so I went to introduce myself and said, "My name is," and she said, "I know who you are." So I knew who I was then too. We sat there like two icicles until the thing filled up, frozen disapproval on this side, and then the procession went past, and Mr. Hoy had his wonderful velvet squashy confection, this was the academic, and a magnificent gown. I couldn't resist. I gave the one a dig, and I pointed at Hoy, and I said, "I don't know who she is, but I do love the hat." She couldn't resist. She let her scorch ears spat out the false teeth. And Mr. Hoy turned around, and if you've never been confronted by those gimlet eyes, I thought I'd better get out here pretty quick and I'll avoid the bonfire, but he could move like an illfisk. He shot across the floor without visible movement of his feet. He come to off and he said, "Senator, I would like to explain to you whatever you write to the Irish Times, my love of James Joyce is a deep and abiding warm." So I said, "I'm not at all surprised to hear that, Taoiseach, but I'm glad that you confirm it. But I also now know where to send my letters in future, not to the Taoiseach's office where you never reply, but to the columns of the Irish Times." I just want to say this. Mr. Hoy was a bit of a mixed event, but he had a sense of humour, and he laughed, and I thought that was quite lovely. So that was my slightly irrelevant and certainly irreverent introduction to Holy City. But I'm not going to go on too long, because I think it's unfair on the artist, but we have something really wonderful. A contribution from the Norris family. Harry B. Norris wrote a lubricious song from the music hall called "Those Girls, those lovely seaside girls. Your head simply swirls." This was uncovered by a man called MacDermott. He was an American tenor, and in 1977 I promoted a concert where he sang it for the first time, and it is absolutely wonderful. It is from the world of the music hall, and it was recorded by Vesta Tilley, one of the great stars of the music hall. So first of all, we'll have the Holy City, and secondly, those girls, those seaside girls, which is so exciting, the imagination of Mr. Blazes Boylan.